Sigmund Freud, a name synonymous with psychology, revolutionized our understanding of the human mind. His theories, though controversial, have left an indelible mark on the field. One of his most significant contributions is the concept of psychosexual development, a framework for understanding how our early childhood experiences shape our personality and behavior in adulthood. Freud's ideas continue to spark debate and inspire research even today. His concepts of fixation and regression offer valuable insights into why we behave the way we do. By understanding these concepts, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and others, paving the way for personal growth and healthier relationships. It is important to approach Freud's work with a critical lens, acknowledging that some of his theories have been challenged or modified over time. Nevertheless, his contributions to psychology remain significant, providing a foundation for understanding the human psyche. Freud proposed that our personality develops through a series of psychosexual stages, each characterized by a focus on a different erogenous zone. These stages are oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. According to Freud, our experiences during these stages, particularly the ways in which our needs are met or unmet, shape our personality and influence our behavior throughout our lives. The oral stage, lasting from birth to about 1 year old, centers around the mouth. The anal stage, from roughly 1 to 3 years old, involves the child's developing control over elimination. The phallic stage, between 3 and 6 years old, is marked by a focus on the genitals and the emergence of the Oedipus or Electra complex. The latency stage, from 6 years old to puberty, is a period of relative calm, where sexual urges are repressed and the child focuses on social and intellectual pursuits. Finally, the genital stage, beginning in puberty, marks the re-emergence of sexual desires and the individual's capacity for mature, loving relationships. The oral stage, the initial stage in Freud's psychosexual theory, spans from birth to approximately 1 year of age. During this period, the infant's primary source of pleasure and interaction with the world is through the mouth. Sucking, biting, and feeding are not merely acts of nourishment but also avenues for exploring the environment and experiencing gratification. Freud proposed that the infant's experiences during this stage, particularly their relationship with feeding and weaning, can have a lasting impact on their personality. For instance, an infant who experiences difficulties with breastfeeding or is weaned too early may develop an oral fixation. This fixation can manifest in later life as an overemphasis on oral activities such as smoking, nail biting, or excessive talking. Furthermore, individuals with oral fixations may exhibit certain personality traits. They might be overly dependent on others, seeking constant reassurance and gratification. The oral stage highlights the profound impact of early experiences on personality development. The anal stage, spanning from approximately 1 to 3 years of age, marks a significant shift in the child's development. During this stage, the focus shifts from the mouth to the anus, as the child becomes increasingly aware of their bodily functions and the ability to control them. Toilet training becomes a central theme, representing the child's first experience with societal expectations and the need to conform. Freud believed that the way in which toilet training is handled can significantly impact the child's personality development. If parents are overly strict or demanding during this stage, the child may develop an anal retentive personality. Such individuals tend to be rigid, orderly, and obsessed with control. Conversely, if parents are overly lenient or permissive during toilet training, the child may develop an anal expulsive personality. This personality type is characterized by messiness, disorganization, and a lack of self-control. The anal stage highlights the importance of finding a balance between control and freedom. Section 5. The phallic stage, gender identity, and complexes. The phallic stage, occurring between ages 3 and 6, marks a critical juncture in psychosexual development. Focus shifts to the genitals as children become aware of anatomical differences. Freud believed this awareness leads to the Oedipus complex in boys and the Electra complex in girls. Successful resolution involves identifying with the same-sex parent and developing the superego. Unresolved conflicts can lead to difficulties with sexual identity, relationships, and authority figures in adulthood. Section 6. The latency stage, a period of repressed impulses. The latency stage, from 6 to puberty, marks a period of calm in psychosexual development. Sexual urges become repressed and energy is channeled towards social, intellectual, and physical pursuits. Freud believed this repression is essential for developing the superego, the moral compass. Focus shifts to forming friendships, developing social skills, and acquiring knowledge. Section 7. The genital stage, maturity and sexual fulfillment. The genital stage, starting with puberty, marks the culmination of psychosexual development. Repressed urges resurface, directed towards forming mature, loving relationships. This stage emphasizes mutuality, intimacy, and genuine love. Freud saw it as a sign of psychological maturity. Section 8. Fixation when development hits a snag. Fixation, a key concept in Freud's psychosexual theory, refers to a persistent focus on an earlier stage of development due to unresolved conflicts or needs. It's like getting stuck in a particular stage, carrying its themes and anxieties into adulthood. This occurs when a child experiences either excessive gratification or frustration during a specific stage, leading to an inability to fully move on to the next. Imagine a child who was weaned too early or experienced inconsistent feeding during the oral stage. This might lead to an oral fixation, manifesting in adulthood as excessive smoking, nail biting, or a tendency to be overly dependent on others. Similarly, a child who experienced overly strict toilet training during the anal stage might develop an anal retentive personality, characterized by rigidity, orderliness, and a need for control. Fixations can impact various aspects of an individual's life, including their relationships, work habits, and overall well-being. Section 9. Regression, revisiting childhood under stress. Regression, another important concept in Freudian theory, involves reverting to behaviors or thought patterns characteristic of an earlier stage of development. This often occurs as a coping mechanism in response to stress, trauma, or overwhelming situations. It's like seeking comfort and security in familiar, albeit less mature ways of being. Imagine an adult who, when faced with a stressful work deadline, begins sucking their thumb or biting their nails, behaviors reminiscent of the oral stage. Or consider an individual who, after a difficult breakup, becomes excessively clingy and dependent on their friends, mirroring behaviors associated with the anal stage. Regression can manifest in various ways, from relatively harmless habits like thumb sucking to more dysfunctional behaviors like temper tantrums or social withdrawal. The severity of the regression often corresponds to the intensity of the stressor and the individual's overall coping skills. While regression is often viewed as negative, it's essential to recognize its adaptive function. Section 10. The path to resolution therapy and self-awareness. While the concepts of fixation and regression might seem daunting, it's crucial to remember that we are not prisoners of our past. With increased self-awareness and the support of therapy, individuals can address these unconscious patterns and cultivate healthier ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Therapy, particularly psychodynamic therapy rooted in Freudian principles, can provide a safe and supportive space for individuals to explore the unconscious roots of their fixations and regressions. Through techniques like free association and dream analysis, individuals can gain insights into their early childhood experiences and how they might be influencing their present-day behavior. Self-awareness is paramount in this journey. By paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can begin to recognize our own patterns of fixation and regression. Journaling, mindfulness practices, and honest self-reflection can be valuable tools for cultivating greater self-understanding. Once we've identified these patterns, we can start to challenge and change them. Section 11. Conclusion. Embracing growth and overcoming psychological hurdles. Sigmund Freud's concepts of fixation and regression, though often viewed through a critical lens, offer valuable insights into the complexities of human behavior. By understanding how unresolved conflicts and early childhood experiences can shape our personality and coping mechanisms, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Fixation, the lingering impact of a specific psychosexual stage, can manifest in various aspects of adult life, from interpersonal relationships to work habits. Recognizing these patterns, while challenging, allows us to address their root causes and seek healthier alternatives. Regression, the tendency to revert to earlier behaviors under stress, highlights the human need for comfort and security in challenging times. By acknowledging regression as a coping mechanism, we can approach ourselves and others with greater empathy and understanding. The path to psychological well-being involves understanding our past, confronting our present, and actively shaping our future.